In today's video, I am so excited to share with all of you 10 foods that I purchase at the grocery store on a weekly basis. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessica, and here on my channel, we focus on all things mom life, but everything we do in my space does have a bit of a healthy twist, as I'm a holistic nutritionist and a nutritional practitioner. So grocery hauls are really popular on my channel. You guys love when I share with you what I'm purchasing at the store, whether it's Costco or Whole Foods, and even sometimes Trader Joe's. But between all of those stores, there are a few things that I purchase every single week to ensure that I'm able to create and make the recipes that my family knows and loves. So I'm excited to walk you through 10 items that I do purchase every single week. Obviously, there are more than 10 things that I purchase on a weekly basis. So if you like this video, let me know, give it a big thumbs up, and I would be happy to make a part 2. All right, so I'm gonna get started with these Japanese yams. So we love Japanese yams. I often get the question, are Japanese yams the same as sweet potatoes? Are they the same as purple potatoes? And they're all obviously in the sweet potato yam family, but Japanese yams are the ones that when you cook, you open them up and they're like a beige white color on the inside versus a bright orange color, which is more of a sweet potato on the inside. I love Japanese yams for their texture. So they're definitely like a heartier texture on the inside. They don't get quite as mushy as a sweet potato, which is why I tend to like them. I also just overall love their nutrition profile. They are super high in fiber. They're super high in vitamins and minerals. So I love to bake these in the oven and then fill them up with quinoa or lentil with a little bit of avocado on top. I even love just to cut them, slice them, roast them with some grass-fed butter and some Celtic salt, you name it. Also, I love to steam these, puree them, and I use them in a lot of my baking recipes. I will link some of those for you up in the cards. I have a beautiful Japanese waffle recipe that my family absolutely loves, so I'm always sure to pick these up at the grocery store on a weekly basis. Next up, I have a pack of grass-fed beef. So I love to use poultry in our home. We use poultry every single week, but I do have to say I prefer red meat. I was somebody who was plant-based for 10 years, so I didn't eat any meat for a very long time. And now having gone back to eating meat, I definitely find myself craving more red meat, but less frequently. So I don't eat meat multiple times a day. Sometimes I don't even eat meat every single day. Sometimes I'll eat seafood. Sometimes I'll go completely plant-based. It just depends on what I'm feeling and what my body's craving. But when I do crave a little bit of protein and animal protein, it does always tend to be red meat. So I love to have grass-fed red meat, obviously because of the nutritional profile. One, it's higher in rich omega-3s, it's higher in vitamin D, it provides a richer source of amino acids, not to mention it's better for the environment because when we're eating cows that eat grass, they're outside, they're grazing the pasture, it's better for our soil. So when I do buy beef, I try my best to buy grass-fed. Sometimes when I'm at Costco, I do just pick up the 3-pack of organic meat, but my preference is most definitely grass-fed red meat. This next one is definitely not a surprise if you're a subscriber to my channel, and that is organic celery. So my husband and I will do the celery juice cleanse a few times a year, and we do tend to do it for about 3 to 4 months straight. Then we'll take about 3 months off and get back on it. So as of lately, we've been back on celery juice for almost exactly 3 months, and we're still really loving and enjoying the ritual. If you're unfamiliar with the celery juice cleanse, I would highly encourage you to Google it. It's from the medical medium. There's a ton of minerals and mineral salts in celery. Overall, I just noticed it really helps boost my cognition, my energy. It's great for digestion. So when we do it, we always are sure to buy organic celery. I really like the celery from Costco because it's already pre-washed, chopped, and packaged and ready for you to go. But I will say that buying it like this does taste better. So I bought this one at Whole Foods. I bought everything that I'm sharing with you today at Whole Foods, but you could buy this anywhere. Kroger has great organic celery for a great price. So I do find though when it is fresh like this and not pre-chopped, it does tend to taste better. Next up, we have a bundle of bananas. We use these every single day, whether it be in our smoothie, sliced on the kids' oatmeal. I use them in baking recipes multiple times a week. I do a ton of healthy baking here on my channel. I will link some videos for you guys up in the cards. I should say, use bananas to sweeten my baked goods. Also, they're just wonderful in our smoothies, and they're just a wonderful thing to throw into my backpack or into the bag for one of the kids if we're running around running errands, because they are the ultimate fast food and they're easy to enjoy while we're on the go. So bananas are definitely a must for me on my weekly grocery shopping list. Next up, we have Honeycrisp apples, but it's not always these apples particularly. Most of the time, I'm just getting the Mickey Mouse organic Gala apples at Costco because it's such a great price for that bag of apples. It's $3.99 or $4.99 for a huge bag of Gala apples. Those Gala apples are soft, and so it's easy for the kids to bite into them. They're also smaller, so they don't go to waste. Sometimes the bigger apples with kids can go to waste, and I'm not sure about you, but my kids like to eat the apple itself versus it being sliced up. But like I said earlier, I was at Whole Foods yesterday doing our grocery shopping, and the Honeycrisp apples were on sale for those of you who are Prime members. So they were a really good deal, and we love Honeycrisp apples. This is also a great after school snack for the kids to slice up, to have with a little bit of sun butter and cinnamon. Also, I do slice up apples. I put them in their lunch boxes. I love to have an apple right around 3 p.m. with a cup of Tulsi tea if I'm feeling a little bit of a lull and I don't feel like making an afternoon smoothie. This is a great snack for me, but with some Tulsi tea, with some flax seeds sprinkled on top, maybe with a side of cashews or almonds. So I always have apples on hand. It's definitely, next to bananas, probably our second most eaten fruit. Okay, so now we have zucchini. I buy 3 to 5 of these a week. I have them all in the refrigerator. They do have that huge pack of squash and zucchini mix at Costco. It's organic and it's super affordable. Again, like I said, I wasn't at Costco yesterday doing our grocery shopping, so I just picked up 3 of them from Whole Foods because I had 2 left with 1 squash from my pack from last weekend when I went shopping at Costco. I use zucchinis in everything. Literally in everything. I grate them into my kids' oatmeal. I grate them on a little bit of toast. I put them in our smoothies. I use them in so many of my baked recipes, whether it's pancakes, waffles, muffins, cakes, breads, you name it. I have a delicious squash and zucchini bread that tastes and smells like birthday cake. I will link that for you up in the cards. Check that one out after today. It's a lemon squash zucchini vanilla delicious breakfast cake. You can enjoy that with a little bit of sun butter or a little bit of grass-fed butter on top for breakfast. It's delicious, but zucchinis are a must for me. I put them in homemade spaghetti sauce. I put them in soups. I love to have zucchinis on hand, even if it's just for roasting with vegetables to have as a side for lunch or dinner. So these are definitely a must for me, and they're pretty much a must for me all year long. Now we have this bag of organic peeled garlic. If you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen me talk about this garlic so many times. But I'm telling you, this is the best $3.99 you will spend all week long. I use garlic in so many recipes. It just adds wonderful flavor without having to add too much extra stuff. Sometimes I get asked, like, how do you keep your vegetables tasting delicious? Or how do you make those soups so flavorful that you make at home? The beautiful vegetable soups, or even not in vegetable soups. Maybe it's a grass-fed ground beef soup. There's so many different things that you can add raw garlic to. I love to have this one because it's already peeled and ready to go. And I notice I grab for it more frequently if it's like this. Also, it's in a resealable bag. It makes it super simple. And a bag of this tends to last me around 10 days to 2 weeks, depending on what type of cooking that I'm doing. So I'm always sure to grab this bag of garlic. If we don't have it in our house, honestly, I will run to Whole Foods sometimes just to pick up this item because it's so important to me in my day-to-day cooking. I just use so much garlic and onion, and having one that's already peeled and ready to go for me is definitely worth paying the extra $1 or $2. So now I have these mini organic Persian cucumbers. I buy them at Whole Foods or at Trader Joe's. I noticed Costco has started carrying mini Persian cucumbers. I'm just waiting for them to start carrying mini organic cucumbers because we do eat the skins of cucumbers and they are heavily sprayed. I definitely am pretty conscious about only buying organic cucumbers, and these little ones are so delicious. I love to eat them just as is, as like a quick snack. If I'm running around the house, I don't have a ton of time, but I'm a little bit hungry, to have them with a little bit of Celtic salt or pink Himalayan salt, to have them with guacamole, with hummus, with salsa. I love to chop them and put them in the kids' lunch boxes with a little bit of hummus or salsa. They love them as a snack. Additionally, I love to have them on my salads, and because I'm making so many salads throughout the week that I love to have these little ready-to-go cucumbers on hand that I can just chop up quickly and toss onto my salad. So these ones are delicious. They're also super refreshing. I love to slice them up and throw them into a big pitcher of water with some strawberries or with some lemon and lime to make a little bit of spa water, but they are such a super rich source of silica, which is great for our bone, our skin, our hair, our teeth. So I love cucumbers for their hydration, for honestly their taste, and then obviously all of their nutritional benefits. Hi you guys, Future Jessica here. I realized as I was importing my footage that I had completely skipped over an entire food, one of our 10 foods. So I wanted to jump back on here and share with you guys one of the foods I purchase every single week, and that is broccoli. So I use broccoli in so many of my recipes. I like to chop it up and have it raw with some hummus or with some salsa. It's also a great staple that I put in my kids' lunch boxes. Likewise, obviously steaming, roasting, baking broccoli is a huge thing that we do in our house, and something that maybe you perhaps haven't tried is adding broccoli to smoothies. Broccoli is such a lovely ingredient to add to smoothies. You can start small and work your taste buds up, but I absolutely love adding broccoli to our smoothies in the morning. It's a rich source of fiber. It's great plant protein. There's so many nutrients. Also, sulforaphane is one of my favorite ingredients. You hear me talk about broccoli sprouts often, so you also do get sulforaphane, obviously, when you eat regular broccoli. So I can't believe I completely skipped over this food. It was sitting on the table in front of me when I was filming the video yesterday, but I did want to be sure to jump back on here to make sure that I included this food for you guys as one of the 10 that I purchase every single week. Okay, and this last one is a little bit of a cheat because I'm sharing two things, but they're kind of one in the same. But pre-washed packaged greens are something I purchase every single week. I am never without these in my home. So Whole Foods and Costco are definitely the best prices. They're way more expensive at like a Kroger here in Michigan. They're like $2 to $2.50 more for a package. But at Whole Foods and Costco, they're $4.99. So it's such a great value. Baby spinach is a must for me. I have it all the time in every single one of my smoothies pretty much. I throw it into a ton of baked goods for my kids, just a little bit of extra greens. Additionally, I love to throw it in the pan and wilt it to have as like a side for dinner. So I use baby spinach every single day, multiple times a day. And I also love to mix it sometimes with this spring mix. So as I mentioned earlier with the cucumbers, I eat salad every day, sometimes twice a day for breakfast and lunch. So having this pre-washed, ready to go spring mix is a no-brainer for me. It's an easy base. I can throw it with a little bit of this. Sometimes if I have some arugula on hand, I can really mix it up. Oftentimes I'll take any of the pre-washed chopped kale that comes in a big bag from Whole Foods or arugula, and I'll mix that in with this just to add a little extra variety. But having this on hand is an absolute no-brainer for me. But if you're somebody who wants to eat more salads, but it seems like such a daunting task to get started, to chop, to wash, to have all of the greens, and to build a salad, but this is the biggest hack and the biggest cheat that I share with all of my clients. It's truly such a great way just to bulk up the greens in your diet in a really super simple and affordable way. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and if you liked this video, you can let me know by giving it a thumbs up and then leave me a comment in the comment section down below. What are the groceries that you purchase every single week? Because I'm always curious to see what people use on a day in and day out basis. And also let me know, out of everything I shared with you today, what you're excited to add into your routine. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click. That way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here next Thursday.